Hey Haley, how are you today?
Hey, I'm so good. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited.
I am so excited that you're excited because for everybody listening, I asked Haley to come on to the podcast because I just told her this, is because she is also a coach. And I know you're going to tell everybody who you are, but I just really want to get this across to everybody that there are so many coaches out there and there's so much help out there for your business or whatever specialty you have that you just gotta search and you just gotta find it. But in any case, Haley, tell everybody who you are and what you got going on, girl.
I'm Haley, of course. I'm the owner of the Color Lounge, and we are a salon in a very small town in Abingdon, Virginia. I also do some business coaching. I've put that on hold for a second to focus on expanding and growing our business. I just really want to be able to pour into that. But I really love helping business owners do pretty much learn what I've needed to learn in the process. So for me, that looks like going in regardless of the business. I've worked with retail businesses, salons, stylists one on one, but to me, that's just doing a deep dive on who they are, what their vision is, and how they navigate that.
Mhm.
Um, so really focusing on their next steps and the things that they personally struggle with, because I believe that as we grow as people, our businesses kind of fall in line with that, which is a really cool thing. And that's kind of my approach to coaching my stylist and being a mentor is focusing on personal growth, and then the rest of it just falls into place.
Amen. I love that. And I love that. First of all, I love Virginia anyways. And Abington. Where is Abington?
So Abingdon it is in southwestern Virginia, so we are really close to Tennessee. Yep.
Oh, girl. Okay, so I know there's a lot of listeners who do have that small town kind of vibes going on, and they can be seasonal,
Mhm.
right? So, how do you stay busy? Like, what are some tips and tricks you can share? And then now you're also putting in a new salon too.
Yeah.
So, how do you balance all that? Because that's a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot. So for us, things definitely are seasonal, but I would say that it's still seasonal um, in the sense of most salons. You know, we have our
Mhm.
slow periods, our slow months. I would say January, July, things like that are really slow for us.
Mhm.
Um, but I think just building a consistent clientele is the best way to navigate that. And then marketing and focusing on what's going on in our area.
Mm.
So, even though we're a really small area, we have a lot of really cool artisans and local events. And I think tying into that is great.
I love that.
Um, but yeah, we are currently in the process of remodeling a new space for our salon. We are in a very small space right now. I think we're around 500 square feet. So we have five artists, a teeny tiny space.
It's so
Um,
cute though. It's so cute.
it is, but we're just outgrowing our space. You know,
Yeah.
we need more room.
Love that.
Yeah, so we're in the process of that. And how do I manage it? Girl, I don't know. To be totally honest with you, I have just learned to thrive in the chaos and
Hmm.
embrace every little part, whether it's easy, difficult. I just thrive in it. So that's
Okay.
really it.
I love that you said that because as beauty and barber pros, whether you're an esthetician or a stylist or a barber, like we're just resilient people. And I
Mhm.
love it that you're just like, I don't know how I do it. I just embrace it and I just savor every moment. And I feel like that is a trait or gift that we have being in this industry, you know? And so with that being said, what do you, besides the obvious, like what do you think is a struggle? that you are have gone through to get you where you're at now, or that you're currently going through and you're just seeing the light at the end of the tunnel? Like what's going on as a salon owner for you?
So I would say my biggest struggle is honestly probably imposter syndrome.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
know we all have that. Like I feel like that's a very common thing for creative people.
Hmm.
Um, and I feel like I have all of these great ideas and amazing things that I want to do, and I have the willpower to do it. Sometimes I feel like I'm afraid of people taking me seriously. So I would
Mm-hmm.
say that that's a big one. Um, and I would say getting over my own limiting beliefs has
Hmm.
been the hardest, but the most rewarding thing that I've done. And I think that that's the secret. You know, if there's a
Yeah.
secret, I think that's it. It's just getting over your own limiting beliefs to do the damn thing.
That's right. That's right. And share with everybody how old you are.
I am 26. I started my salon when I was 22.
Look at that. You see
Yeah.
that? There are no excuses. Oh my
No.
God. I love that. So what made you decide to choose this particular industry to like just totally kick ass and do the damn thing? How'd you do that? What's going on?
So, I would say a lot like everyone else in the industry, my journey has changed, so much. But at 8, I would say, maybe even younger, I was like, this is what I want to do. I saw my cousin at the time go through cosmetology school.
Hmm.
Um, I loved the idea of it. And then as that kind of grew and progressed, I really love the idea of um, helping people grow their confidence
Oh,
and
that's cool. Okay.
doing something creative at the same time. I
Hmm.
didn't want to be confined. And I think freedom is one of the big reasons why a lot of us enter this industry. So, freedom and helping people and just making people feel beautiful through art was one of my biggest things. And then transitioning into um, leadership roles and salon ownership, my purpose became leading and guiding passionate people to have sustainable long-term careers within our industry. I really saw the need for that working in multiple salons and seeing so many passionate, talented people stop because they didn't have the support that they needed. So I wanted to be that support. So my journey changes, but ultimately the love for the industry has always been there, and that's what started, and that's what will carry me through.
I love that. Yeah. So it would make sense that, you have this imposter syndrome kind of popping up every so often. You got people looking at you and like, "Oh, you're just a cute little girl. It's okay."
Yeah.
So what has been I've been there, girl. Do I have stories? So with that, what do you feel has been the best, most motivating insult that you have gotten that you're just so super freaking proud of?
Oh, I love this question.
I do too. I love asking it because I love
Question.
I love seeing everybody's faces when I ask it.
I love it. So, what's really funny is um, even one of my current stylists, she told me this, and I've heard it from so many people, but everyone says that upon first impression of me, I seem like a bitch.
I
I'm
didn't
like,
get that. I didn't get that one, but okay.
well, thank you, but that's okay. I'm totally fine with it because if that means that if that means that it's obvious that I have high expectations for the people in my life,
Hmm.
then I'm totally fine with that. And as a 5 foot tall female in business, if I can seem intimidating, I'll take it. I'll
That
take
is
that.
heck yeah. Oh my God, for real? They said that. So,
Yeah.
okay. So this is like multiple people. This isn't just one of your current
Yes.
stylists. This is like
Yeah.
people in different areas of your life.
Yeah. This happened when I took a leadership role in a previous salon that I worked at.
Hmm.
And I was the youngest one in the salon. So you can imagine. how that went, being young and being in a leadership position, and then just, I guess, demanding what it is that I expect from people. And of course, I do that in a
Mhm.
kind, caring way, but I have really high expectations for everyone around me. And if that makes me seem like a bitch, then it's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Share, if you could, if you don't mind, could you share some of those expectations that you have, both professionally and personally? Because we're a very intimate industry, right? And it kind of blends together. And you just said, like, from everybody around me, I expect a certain way. So, what are some of those expectations?
Yeah, this is something that I really thought about when writing our salon's core values.
Oh,
Um, I really want people around me who are okay with embracing the suck or eating shit sandwiches, as I
ooh, yeah.
say, to
Delicious.
get
Love those.
delicious. As a salon owner, we eat a lot of shit sandwiches.
Yeah.
But I really want people who embrace the suck to get what they want, who are determined, who are honest and self-aware. And I think that's a huge requirement for our industry.
Mm-hmm.
For success in our industry, we need to be self-aware, and a lot of people lack that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then honesty is so important, and that's being honest with yourself and other people and taking ownership. I will be the first person to own my shit, and I
Mm-hmm.
expect that from everyone else. So, ownership and honesty are huge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would have to agree with that, with like everything you just said. Because if you're not honest with yourself, how can you possibly lead anyone else,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So, when it comes to your salon, what kind of salon do you have that you are discovering these new things about yourself and about expansion and all of this? Is it a commission? Is it hourly? Is it what kind of salon is it?
Yeah, so we are a commission-based salon, so an employment-based salon.
Mm-hmm.
And this is kind of new to our area. So our area is not our area is not made up of a lot of employment-based salons. So for us, it's been a little hard because people are used to booth rental salons.
Mm-hmm.
The only employment-based salons in our area are your bigger chain salons. So for us, it's a new approach. So I guess breaking the stigma of, you can't make money in a commission-based salon has been huge for me in our area. And learning to educate people on that
Mm.
is has been important to me. I would say that um, we have a lot of people in our area who could use that guidance, and they aren't willing to trust in other people, which I totally get because
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately we have some not so great salon owners. But I feel like breaking the stigma and educating people and just being an advocate for how artists can have an actually sustainable career.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. For the team members that you have now, obviously they believe in the mission, right? And they've seen it for themselves, right?
Mhm.
So, how do you guys do this convincing? Like, how do you recruit? How do you get people in such a small area to be like, no, this is the way. Check it out. Look at the dough, man. How do you do that?
Really just breaking down the numbers to people.
Mm-hmm.
So whether that's schools, I want to be in more schools. I want to take that to some more schools and educate because everyone just says booth rental is the way to go. And then social media, I like to be really raw on social
Mm.
media with that, and that's something that I'm currently working on is being able to share how we do things and why we do things the way we do without feeling like I'm bragging or even bashing on any other ways of doing things. But really just getting out there, showing people the numbers and weighing out the pros and cons for them. I think that's, you just have to bring it to them, you know? You can't
Mm-hmm.
expect it to come to you. But for a while, I was really questioning my vision. I fell back on it for a little while because it didn't seem like I was hiring the right people. And I shifted my vision, or I guess I stepped outside of my vision for a little bit, and that was the worst thing that I could have done.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because I was in a mindset of desperation at
Ooh.
that point.
Ooh, I
Yeah.
got chills. I got chills. Nothing ever good comes from that mindset.
So,
Okay.
yeah, being in a mindset of desperation for too long really just took me away from my initial vision.
Mm-hmm.
And being in that mindset, you're surviving and you're not thriving, and the goal ultimately is to thrive. So stepping away from that was the biggest mistake, that I would say that I've made in that process. But just staying true to your vision is the key for success in that. Even if things aren't going the best for a little
Mm-hmm.
bit, you get
Mm-hmm.
over those limiting beliefs and things just take off.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I feel like speaking with a lot of like salon owners, and you've probably experienced this too, you always have that one owner who's like, yeah, but like, how do you do it? Because I've been doing it and, maybe it's me and I have to like step out from my vision and I have to just bend. And like, how do I know when it's okay to, keep going, like enduring, you know? What would you say to that?
I would say that your vision would have never been an idea if you didn't have the capability to do it, if you didn't have
Exactly.
what it takes to do it. So
Exactly.
you have to stick true to it. It would have never
Exactly.
been a thought.
That is how I feel too. And at least for me, just being so like transparent, like I find so much comfort in just chatting with other salon owners and like other kick-ass babes like yourself because it's you gotta stick to that's the you got that vision for a purpose
Mhm.
and it's your vision. So you gotta just hold on to it and go for it no matter what.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not worth it unless you're totally in it. And unless it's your why and your vision, you're not totally in it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. So now, what is one lesson that being in this industry, being in this leadership roles, what's the lesson that you have learned personally that you wish other people in different industries would also like grab onto and learn?
This is something that I'm actually really passionate about, and that's communication.
Oh, yes.
Communication is number one for me and for my business. That's, sorry, that is the first thing that my stylists learn is starting that journey of learning communication. So,
Mm,
um, that looks like asking the right questions, and whether that's consultations or just in a professional manner, or even your personal life, is really focusing on learning how to communicate effectively
mm-hmm.
and seeing where that takes you within life and within business. I think that's something that a lot of people could learn, and they don't realize the impact that it will have until it happens.
Yeah. Yeah. What's an area that no one agrees with you about?
Oh
Personal or professional, doesn't matter.
my gosh, this one is hard because I feel like a lot of people have a lot of different views on things, but
That's their
um,
creative side coming out. We're like, no, it's interpretive art. No, wait,
yeah,
wait, wait.
but actually, I think that, and this is totally, I feel like this is totally a me thing, and this is not something that I would expect of other people. But recently, I've kind of thrown the concept of work-life balance out the window.
Oh, share. Do
So,
share. Why? Why toss it
yeah, let's
completely?
let's talk about that. So, for me, putting the pressure of a work-life balance on myself only led to more stress.
Hmm.
So, my business is what brings me fulfillment. It's what makes me happy. Um, it's what allows me to live a lifestyle of abundance. And I work really hard for that, but I love it.
Hmm.
So the saying that if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life really rings true for me. So I've kind of let myself work when it feels right and work
Hmm.
when I have the inspiration and the motivation to do so. And that's alleviated a lot of that pressure for me for having a work-life balance because
Hmm.
I get my fulfillment from working.
Yeah.
So having that sense of accomplishment is very freeing for me. So then I can step back once I have that and focus on me a little bit more.
Hmm. Hmm. Who are the three most influential people for you?
Wow, that's a big question. Um, so I would say I have two within our industry, one outside of our industry. So I would say Heather, the founder of Pip University, who has been
Mhm.
on the podcast before. Heather is amazing. What she's been able to do by who she is really inspires me. So Heather is fantastic. I have not been in her program yet, but I would love to. And then I would say Mackenzie Turley. She's the founder of IBE, Invisible Bead Extensions. I'm an IBE stylist. So her ability to create something that truly focuses on the health of the client's scalp while at the same time building a community of people who are all wanting to continue to grow is fantastic.
Hmm.
And then I would say Jocko Willink. So
Ooh, who's that?
yeah, so he is the author, or I guess the co-author of Extreme Ownership. He was, I guess, a Navy SEAL commander. So he is amazing. Um, he wrote Extreme Ownership, The Dichotomy of Leadership, which are some of the most influential books that I've ever read about leadership and
Mm,
navigating all of those little nuances.
yeah. Oh, I love it that you said that. I feel maybe you feel this way too, but I feel like those military guys who write books and like do these big things for business, they're so inspiring because they totally kick your ass and you're like, okay, all right, I'm gonna like they're yelling at you through the pages and you're like, okay, I'm gonna do it. Like
Yeah, and I thrive on that. My husband is actually a Marine, so the communication styles are very similar.
that is perfect. That
Yes.
is perfect. So how does your husband feel that you are in this leadership role? You are does he support you? Does he kind of be like, "Girl, you do your thing. I'll be over here." Like how is that going? How does he get involved too?
He is extremely supportive, but he he really just is there for me when I need advice because he's in a leadership role in his working life as well. So he's there for me a lot when I need advice, but the best thing is he is the first person to call me out on my shit.
Oh,
Like
yes. Amen, girl. I
that man
love
will
this.
call me out on my bullshit and I love it. Like
Love
that is
that.
exactly what I need from him and he knows what I need when I need it all the time. So he is just the best support system.
That is so powerful. For real. Like I wish more of us would be in that and have those healthy relationships, you know?
Mhm.
So, with all of this stuff going on, how do you nourish yourself? Because we tossed work-life balance out the window, right?
Yep, out the window.
So, so how do you bye? Okay, so then how do you like nourish your soul besides working?
So I would say learning in general is the main way that I do that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just and that's a lot of self-discovery,
Yeah.
which can be exhausting, of course, but I feel like that it's more enriching than anything.
Mm-hmm.
So learning is huge for me, whether that's hair related things, business related things, personal growth. That's what I do. That feels like nourishment for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what do you tell anybody or even your stylist who are like, yeah, so I see myself owning a business in like 3 years. And you're like, oh, okay, great. That's awesome. But like, what are you doing here? But anyway, so like what do you tell those stylists who want to put their own business?
I also love this question
Oh my
because I feel
God,
like I have
yes.
so many things to say. But
Say them all, girl. Say them all. Lay it out.
so, number one is be prepared to work 10 times harder than you ever thought you would.
Hmm.
However hard you think it's going to be, it will be 10 times harder, if not more. Then I would say you have to know the exact reason why you're doing it. You have to know your why behind everything and let that be your guiding light. Because if you have that, or if you don't have that, there will be so many times where you'll feel lost.
Hmm.
And then I would say the biggest quality that I think people need
Hmm.
is the ability to figure it the fuck out.
Hmm.
And that looks like figuring it out no matter what it takes, no matter what you need to learn or what you need to do, you're gonna have to learn to figure it out because
Hmm.
there's not really many people there to hold your hand. I mean, thankfully we have coaches, but in the beginning of your career, that might not be something that's available to you. That might not be something that you can
Hmm.
afford.
Hmm.
So the ability to figure it out, regardless of your resources, you have to learn to just make it work.
Hmm. Hmm. What do you feel like I know we're just starting out, right? More or less with the new business, the expansion, all that stuff. And I don't want you to jinx yourself or anything like that, but you are 26. You are a young owner, right? You're
Yeah.
still a young stylist. So let's do some manifestation right now. Like, what are some dreams? What are some goals, personal, professional, for the business, for your girls that you want to get done? Like, let's name like three.
Okay. So I guess personal and professional, I can kind of put those together, but I would say growing my team and being able to step back from behind the chair to focus on their growth is a huge goal of mine. I have done that a little bit, I've stepped back some, but being able to step back a little bit more to really be able to nourish them is what's important to me. Um, I see us, you know, really focusing on education for our area too. I
Mm-hmm.
want to start hosting classes and things like that because we don't get a lot of that in our area. So that's big, just bringing education in.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't think I'll ever completely stop doing hair because I feel like it's hard for me to lead and coach people through that if I'm not doing it myself.
Mm-hmm.
So even if I have done it, I want to be able to adapt to the changes that our industry has personally so that I can continue to help people through that. But stepping back, playing a bit more of a mentorship role and an educator role, and then hopefully bringing some of those skills to other business owners in my area. So we have an abundance of small business owners in my area, and I love seeing the passion that goes into that. But it's also on the other side of that, it's really upsetting to see those small businesses close or
Mm-hmm.
maybe not do so well. So I would love to be able to support them in that way.
Yeah. Do you find yourself, even though you're a salon owner, and it sounds like you do, but when you see like another little like boutique or whatever, and you're like, oh my God, you got to just do XYZ, and then it's going to be so much better. Do you ever find yourself doing that?
Yeah, and I think when we are like business minded people, we're going to be overly analytical of things.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do definitely see that. I'm like, well, maybe if they did this, that would work. But
Yeah.
which is kind of crazy because for me, sometimes I struggle with looking up and out over my business, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
guilty of looking down and in.
Mm.
So it's kind of funny the way that it differs between my business and looking at other people's businesses.
For sure. For sure. All right, so tell everybody the name of your salon again, what you have going on, how people can get their hair done with you, services with you guys, and what you have coming up soon, maybe that is not yet offered. Let's do a shameless
Yeah.
plug. Let's do it.
All right. So again, I am Haley Darby. You can find my personal page at on Instagram at Haley_Darby. The salon is the Color Lounge, and we are again located in Abingdon, Virginia, bordering the Tennessee line. Our Instagram is at thecolorlounge.va, so for Virginia. And then our website, where you can book with us or learn more or figure out how to work with us, is thecolorloungeva.com. And we are currently expanding our team. So we're ready to get more talented artists in there who are ready to work their asses off and make a career that they've dreamed of.
Love it. I love it. And you are on the border, which means there's a very high chance that I might possibly see you at the beauty trade show of the Great Smoky Mountains.
Yes, yeah, I'm planning to attend.
I'm
So
so
I will probably see you
excited.
there with my team.
I'm so excited. I personally love it when I get to connect with, the guests of the Beauty Pro podcast and even at the different hair shows and stuff. But like seeing you guys in person, oh my God, I am a big hugger. So
Oh,
just
same. I love
just prepare.
hugs. Yeah, we're only 2 hours from there, so we'll definitely
Oh,
be there.
oh my God, I'm so
Yeah,
excited.
me
Okay.
too. I'm excited.
All right. So now we're wrapping up. I can't like time flies, like seriously. What is a question that I did not ask you that you wish I did, and what would have been your answer?
Oh my gosh. Oh, this is a hard one. I feel like we cover so much, but maybe books, maybe like influential books would be good.
Or
Um, and again, that would be extreme ownership, dichotomy of leadership.
Mhm.
And then I've started reading, I finished Start the Work by Natalie Dawson, and it is a great blueprint for any business owner to um, build upon those foundations for business.
Mhm.
So, kind of walking through um, finding your why and creating your mission statement and your core values and things like that. So it's a really good blueprint for any small business owner. Um, so I would say those are probably some of the most influential. I'm currently reading The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
I love that book. I
Yeah,
have it in so many different editions too. I don't know why.
yeah, that one is awesome. So I'm currently reading that and I'm loving it. I'm reading it slowly so that I can kind of implement and take notes and really just focus on putting things into practice and seeing. I feel like it's so crazy because when you read something and you read such good, solid information and then you slowly start to see it play out throughout your life, you're like, damn, like that's what I needed. It's like totally mind blowing. So
I love that. I love that. That means you're really like soaking it in, and you're really like just doing the work. You're not just reading a
Mhm.
book to say, "Oh yeah, I read that. Didn't work, whatever."
Yeah, it's so crazy the information that is available to us through books. I think that
Hmm.
that's something that it's amazing that we have podcasts like this one and we have coaches and we have so many great resources, but we have books and they're so easy and they're cheap and they're
It's true.
they're invaluable. So I think
Yeah,
books have been so important for my journey as far as growing and learning.
love it. Well, Haley, thank you for coming on the Beauty Pro podcast and
Thank
and for
you
being a
so
fan
much.
of it from the beginning, more or less. Like that was awesome. I was so pleasantly surprised with that.
Yeah, it was so crazy when you asked me. I was like, I've joined into some of your trainings and I've listened to the podcast for a while, so it was amazing for you to ask me. I feel a little starstruck, honestly. So
I love it. Well, I was totally like, oh my God, she follows the podcast. Like I was freaking out. I was like, oh my God, that's so great.
I do. I'm a pretty dedicated listener, so
I love it. Well, my dear, thank you so much. And then
thank
for you
you.
guys listening, make sure to subscribe to the podcast, watch us on YouTube, and I will talk to you guys next week.